S Jaishankar and Secretary of State Antony Blinken held crucial diplomatic talks amid the huge India-Canada row, and this comes just days after, in fact, the US had said that it wants India and Canada to engage as far as the killing of Khalistani extremist Hardeep Singh Nijjar is concerned. Well, they discussed India's successful G20 presidency, and External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar also said that we had a comprehensive discussion on global developments.
It's a pleasure to welcome my friend and colleague, Foreign Minister Jaishankar, here to the State Department, back to Washington. We've had very good discussions over the last weeks, of course, at the G20, in New York at the General Assembly, and I'm looking forward to pursuing them this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Tony. Good to be back here, and we, of course, had the Prime Minister here this summer. We thank the US for all the support at the G20 summit. And I actually look forward to seeing you in Delhi for the 2+2.
I look forward to that as well. Thanks, everyone.
And Kadambini Sharma is with us live on the broadcast. So, Kadambini, these talks assume more importance given the fact that they come amid the diplomatic row between India and Canada. Was anything discussed as far as Canada is concerned at all?
Well, that is the most interesting part because you have heard both the leaders and also the readout which came after the meeting. We have also heard the spokesperson of State Department, but not one word about Canada has been spoken. Neither Jaishankar nor Antony Blinken have said anything about it. The questions were not taken. The reporters understandably asked about the Canada row, but nothing, no question were answered. We have not seen anything on the readout by which has been released by US. It talks about infrastructure, G20 presidency, India, Europe, India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor, but nothing about Canada. But we should, though there is nothing on source either about what happened about Canada, whether there were any conversations, we can only assume that there might have been some conversation about it, but both the sides have remained tight-lipped. One announcement which was made after and during, before as well, this meeting was of 2+2, which is expected. Our sources tell us that it might be taking place in Delhi in November. Last meeting of 2+2, that is Indian Foreign Minister and Indian Defense Minister as well as their counterparts from US will take place here in November. The earlier one took place in Washington. But the one important question which everyone wants to know, whether there was any conversation about Canada controversy, the allegations which Canada has made. It looks at the moment that both are tight-lipped, and the only answers will be coming from the spokespersons who have said that they have already expressed their concerns and expect India to cooperate. And India has already said, as we have heard Jaishankar say very clearly a day back, that India needs evidence, and if there is specific evidence, it will of course look into it. Vedant?
Absolutely, Kadambini. And as you said, both sides are tight-lipped as far as the India-Canada row is concerned. But the larger diplomatic messaging is also pretty clear, because you see a lot of the questions that were being asked were whether US will actually pick a side as far as this India-Canada diplomatic tussle is concerned. So clearly that row seems to have not affected the India-US relations, which are at an all-time high, many would say.
Well, yes, it is. It would be a fine line for US, because if we look at Canada, it's a traditional ally. It is a neighbor. As far as India is concerned, it's a strategic partner now. It is a very close ally and also a counterweight to China. Fastest growing economy, largest country which has the largest population at the moment. It is economically getting stronger, and whole of world is looking at it in that way. So it is quite difficult at the moment for US to balance between the two, but it would want to pursue that balance because it is important for in the geopolitical sense. So expecting US Secretary of State to come out and pick a side, or US coming out and picking a side, is something which is not going to happen at the moment, because the situation is not like that. India is not what it was long time back when sanctions were put, when it did a nuclear test. So it is a completely different situation. The timing is different, but the important part, the most important part, which India has been talking about again and again, is the fact of evidence. Now, even after, let's say, 10 days since Justin Trudeau alleged that India has had a hand in killing of Khalistani Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. There is
Right.
no evidence which has come out in the open. What transpired behind the scenes is still not clear. Whether
Right.
there was any document shared, if hard evidence was shared. But in public, there is no evidence.